In part 1 of this video, I'm going to show you how to sew a baby doll dress. For this project, you're going to need pins, measuring tape, scissors, a non-stretch fabric, I used cotton, pencil, paper, and ruler to make a pattern, some thread, and some ribbon of your choice. We're going to start by taking our bodice block and closing the shoulder seam. If you don't have a bodice block, I would say you can buy it online or you can make your own using a lot of different tutorials, and it's a really good next step into intermediate sewing. After tracing about 10 centimeters down my side seam, I'm going to create a curved line to connect with the center front. I'm going to add some extra volume onto the center front, and this depends how much ruching you want, so you can add as much or as little as you like. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did for the other side of the pattern. And then I'm going to take a scrap piece of fabric and trace out the pattern that I just created. Before placing it on the mannequin, I'm going to do a loose basting stitch along the neckline and the bottom of the bodice. You can then pull the loose threads of this stitch to create the gathering to actually get an idea of how the top is going to fit. And here I can decide to make any adjustments to the volume or to the neckline. If you don't have a mannequin, you can also just hold this piece up onto yourself. I like the way it looks, so I'm now going to move on to the back piece. I don't want as much gathering in the back, so I'm just going to close that shoulder seam without adding any extra volume. I want to make sure that the front strap is the same width as the back and that the side seams are going to line up as the same measurement as well. And then you can do whatever you want for the back neckline. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did for the front piece and trace out the pattern that I just created onto a scrap piece of fabric. Doing a little mock-up like this is important before you use your real fabric, just to make sure that everything is fitting correctly. And then I'm going to do the same basting stitch along the bottom and the neckline of the back piece as well. And then I'm going to pin the two pieces together to really get a good idea of what the top of the dress is going to look like. Now I'm going to move on to the bottom part of the dress. So we're going to cut out a piece of fabric in the same width of the pattern piece that we just created and whatever length that you decide on. And this piece is still adjustable, so we're not committing to anything yet. And then I'm going to do another basting stitch at the top of this piece so I can create the gathering. And then we're going to do the same process for the back piece in the same length that we just cut this piece. We're in the mock-up phase, so we can still make any adjustments to the shape, length, volume before we cut it out of our real fabric. At this phase, the pieces for the top of the dress still have excess fabric, so I'm going to cut all the excess fabric away, leaving 1 centimeter seam allowance, and sew it together. And then I can really try it on and see how it fits. You can attach the skirt part as well. I decided I love the way the top fit, but I want to add a little bit more volume to the skirt part. So I traced out the pattern of the skirt on a piece of paper, and then I cut out 4 evenly spaced lines from the bottom of the skirt without cutting through the top of the paper. By evenly spacing these cuts, I can evenly add volume to the dress. So I pinned this on my real fabric and evenly spaced it by 4 centimeters. And then I cut the same for the back piece. In part 2 of this video, I'm going to show how much of a difference it can make when you play with the volume of this dress. Okay, so I'm going to pin my side seams, and I'm now ready to cut the bust part of the dress out of my real fabric as well. So I'm going to cut out the pattern for the top, and then cut it out of my real fabric. And now with all my pieces cut out, I can start to sew them together. I'm going to sew everything with a French seam, but you can obviously sew this with a regular stitch as well. So with a French seam or a regular seam, we're going to sew the 2 side seams and the 2 shoulder seams. Right sides together if you're doing a regular stitch. And we're going to sew the side seams of the bottom skirt piece as well. This is a damage control step in case any of your seams aren't lining up. You can do a basting stitch along the bottom of your top piece, pull the thread, and then everything should line up perfectly. So now aligning your side seams, you're going to pin the 2 pieces right sides together if you're doing the regular stitch, or you can do your French seam. And then you're going to sew along where you pinned. Now along the neckline and the armholes, we're going to create a bias strip channeling. And we're going to do this by just cutting some bias strips out of our fabric. So we're going to cut the strips on the diagonal to use any of the stretch that the fabric might have, and we're going to measure out the circumference of the armhole and then cut a strip in that length, keeping in mind seam allowance. I cut my strip about 3.5 centimeters in width, and then you're going to pin it right sides together along the outside of the armhole. Once you know you have the perfect length of the strip, you can sew it right sides together to create a little circle. And then line it up with one of the seams, either the shoulder seam or the side seam, and then you're going to pin it and sew it right sides together. Then you're going to iron out what you just sewed. We're going to use the bias strip to encase the raw edge of our armhole. So we're going to fold it over, iron it down again, and then fold it over one more time. And here I'm doing that last fold and then taking a pin and placing it in the seam on the other side to lock it in. As you can see, all my pins are locking in the fabric on the back. And then we're going to sew along where we pinned. Sewing on the right side of the fabric in the seam so you don't see the stitch. We're going to do the same for both sleeves. We're going to move on to the neckline, again using a bias strip. I'm going to do the neckline in 2 pieces because I want to leave openings at the shoulder. And this is so we can insert some ribbon. So we're going to fold the strip over 1 centimeter and then we're going to pin it right sides together and pin it making sure that your ribbon is going to be able to fit through the channel that we're creating. And then we're going to fold it over 1 centimeter at the other end as well. And then we're going to sew with a straight stitch. And then we're going to iron it out and do the same technique that we just did for the sleeves. The only difference here is we're going to leave a little bit of extra space so we can insert a ribbon into this channel. I trimmed my strip down a bit because I had a little bit too much extra fabric, and you can just play with this until you like the look and it feels right. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that there's space to insert your ribbon. The same with the armhole, we're going to pin in the seam, but we're going to leave the ends open again so we can insert that ribbon. So then you're going to sew along where you pinned. I like to insert my ribbon by just adding a safety pin to the end and then poking it through. And this ribbon is what's going to create the gathering. And then we're going to do the exact same on the back of the dress. And then we're going to have 2 bows at the shoulders. You can also play with the openings where the ribbon exits the channel and have your bows at the front and the back as well. I'm just placing pins to lock the ribbons in place because I will place a bow to stop them from moving around in a later step. Next, we're going to create a channel under the bust. So this, again, we're going to use a bias strip. Fold it over 1 centimeter, place it on the right side of the dress, and pin it into the seam. We want to pin it all along the dress, making sure that each pin is in the seam. The plan here is just to create another channel on the right side of the dress where we're going to insert another ribbon. So we want to make sure again that we have enough width in that strip to encase the ribbon. Once you've pinned it all the way around, you're going to fold the other end over by 1 centimeter as well. And then you're going to sew along where you pinned. And then you're going to fold over what you just sewed and iron it down. And then tuck in the edge and iron that down as well. You're going to do this for the whole strip, placing pins as you go. And then you're going to sew a top stitch where you pinned. And then we can insert the ribbon. Next, we can move on to hemming our dress. So flipping it inside out, we can fold our fabric over 1 centimeter, iron it down, and then fold it over a 2 centimeter. Then place your pins and sew along with a straight stitch. Finally, we're going to lock our ribbons into place by placing bows on the front and the back of the dress. And we're just going to sew those on with a hand stitch. And you're all done. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked this video, please subscribe.